Hey, what's up guys? In this video we are going to build these multi-steps, or we can say progress steps, that we can use in different parts of our website, and mostly these steps we will use in multi-step forms. We will build this project with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So if you are excited to build this mini project, smash the like button and subscribe to this channel, and also tell me in the comments what kind of projects you want in the future. So the future features of this project is that when we click on the next button, the progress bar will move to the second step, and on the first step the previous button will be disabled, and on the last step the next button will be disabled. So let's go to our code editor. So in my code editor, I have just three files: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So first of all, I will create a little mockup, and then I will change the title to progress steps. Let's save it, and now I will create HTML for this project. So in the HTML file, we will have a div with a class of container. This container will contain all of our content, and then we will also have a progress dash container. So in the progress container, all of our steps and circles, these progress bars and these circles will be there. So in the progress container, first of all we will have a progress, which will be a progress bar, and underneath we will have a circles, the circles that are containing 1, 2 and different steps. So under the progress div, what we will do is we will create four divs with a class of circle. So I'm using Emmet. If you are using Visual Studio Code, you can write this shortcut dot and then the class name, and then it will automatically convert into a div. So first step will be 1, and the next step will be, oops. So you can also use another shortcut, which will be, so let's assume if I want 3 divs, what I will do is I will write a dot and class name, and then I will multiply it by 3. So now the automatically 3 divs will be created. So for first we want it to be an active, and we will change this active class with the JavaScript on click event in the later part of this video. So the we have 4 step, 3 and 4. So under the progress bar we will have 4 of these circles. These circles will contain the numbers, the steps, and under this progress container what we want to do is we want to create these two buttons, the next and previous button. So I will create button with the class of btn and with an id of prev. It will stand for previous button. So it will be a previous, and for first step I also want to make it a disabled as a default, and the next button is going to be the next with the class of btn and with the id of next. So let's give it a title of next. So let's save it. Now open it with the live server. Live server is VS Code extension. If you are not using, you can go to VS Code Marketplace and you can search from here live server. So you can download this extension, and then on the HTML file, when you will right click, you can open it directly from here. So as you see, it's not looking good right now, but we will fix it and make it like this in just few minutes. So let's go to our CSS file. So before going to CSS file, let's first of all import our CSS file, which will be style.css, and underneath at the end of our HTML I will import my JavaScript file. You can also you import JavaScript file in the head, but this is not a good practice. The good practice is that you will import it at the end of your HTML. So when your website will be open in the browser will first of all load HTML, and at the end it will load JavaScript. So first of all I will import. So let's save it and now go to our CSS file. So in the CSS file, what I will do, first of all I will give it a box sizing of border box. Let's save it. Now I want to target the body. I want all of my content in the middle. So for this I will give it a display of flex. Justify content will be a center. Oops, I want it in the new line. So the justify content will be the center. Line items will also be in the center. I will give it a height of 100. Viewport height. Background color, you can use any of the colors. So what I will do is I will give it a something like, so I have a color picker and I will copy the color from here. The color I am using for background, so for some reason it's not working, so just give it a something like gray color and with an opacity of less, so we will reduce its opacity. So let's give it opacity like this, 0.14. Let's save it and now you will see a change. So what we'll do is, next thing is going to be the container. We want to target the container that is containing all of our content. I just want to give it a text align of center, so all of the content will move in the middle. So the next is going to be the progress container. This progress container is containing the progress bar and all of the circles. I will give it a display of flex. Justify content will be space between, and align items. So I think, let first of all let's check. Now we don't want an align items, it's looking already good. So just give it a position of relative, give it a margin bottom of 30 pixels, so we will have some spacing between these circle icons and the buttons. So margin bottom is going to be 30, and let's give it some width. So let's give it a 350 pixel. Now you will see we have some spacing and the width is something like this. So in the next step what we want to do is, we want to use the pseudo selector of before. So I will target the progress container, and for before what we will do is, we want to give it first of all some content property, and then we will give it a background color. The background color will be something like E0. Oops. So it's not working right now. Let's see what's happening. So I think this was the issue. Background color is going to be this one, and then we want it to be position absolute because we have done a progress container as relative, and because we want to use this before as an absolute. So I will give it a position of absolute. Position will be absolute. Top, from top I want it to be a 50%, and from left it will be a 0, and also I want it to give it a property of transform from translate y, so it will be minus 50%. Let's save it, and now you will see some changes. So first of all, let's say, so it's not working right now because it I have just given it a property of before. So first of all, let's give it some height so we can see it. Let's give it a height of 4 pixel. Also give it a z index of -1. We also want a transition for this, not a transform, because it will look some smoothly. So the transition is going to be the 0.4 second, and with is, so let's save it first of all and just refresh the page. You will not see some changes some here because we are just targeting the before right now, and just give it a width of 0%. Oops. I, so it will not be 0%, width will be 100%. So let's save it, and now you will see something change, some changes. Now we have a progress container in this progress bar. So what I will do is I will target the progress. This progress is going to be this div, so let's target it, and we want to give it some properties such as background color is going to be the 3498 dB. Position will also be absolute, and then from top it will be a 50%, from left it will be 0. Height is going to be the 4, not 100. Height is going to be the 4 pixel. So the next property is going to be the z index, which will be -1. Transition is going to be the 0.4, and with is, and for width we want it to be, so first of all let's comment it out and let's save, and let's refresh the page. You will not see some of the changes here. As you see, when I am hovering, you will see some changes later, or when we will click, we want this blue color to move in the next steps. So let's build this part. So first of all, what I will do is I will set the default width to be a 0%. Now the next part is going to be the circles, because we want to make the circles like this one. So first of all, what I will do, I will target this circle class. So in the circle class it will be this one, and just give it a background color of white. Background color will be white. The color of text is going to be something like this one, the gray one, and we want to look them as circles. So for this I will give it a border radius of 50%. It will convert the height and width into a circle. So let's give it some of the height. So I will give the same height and width of 30 pixel to these circles. Now the next part is we also want, so first of all let's save it. Now you will see these circles are showing, but our background color is also looking the same. So let's change the background color first of all of the body. So I think let's use some other color. Let's save it. And now you will see we have circles. But the problem is that we have make circles but the text is not in the middle. So what we'll do is, I think this color is not looking that good. So what we'll do is we'll use some other colors such as sky blue. Let's save it. So what we want to do is we want to make these move these items in the middle. So for this we will use the display of flex. Justify content will be move it to the next line. Justify content will be center, and align items will also be center. Now you will see a change. Now you will see all of these items will move in the middle, as you will see here. So first of all, let's move to the, so I think we will also give it some border. As you will see, we have a border here and we will give it a border. So the border is going to be 3 pixel solid, and its color is going to be this one, the same color we were using for this progress bar. So background color is not looking that good, so let's change it to something else. So I think we will use gray with an opacity of something with a less. So it will look good, I think, because our main purpose is not styling here, but how this concept is working in the progress steps or multi steps form. Also reduce some of its opacity. Let's see if it's good or not. No, it's not looking good. You can also use some of other colors like this one. Yeah, it's looking good. So what we will do is we have given it a border, and we also want a transition for this. So let's give it a transition property of 0.4s and with ease. Let's save it. And as you will know, we all have also a circle with the class of active. So we want to style this active class, and from JavaScript we will set a on click event and move this active class to any of the circles. So let's target this circle with the class of active, and we just want to change the border color for this. So the border color will be this one. Let's save it, and now you will see the border color has changed for an active. So when we click next, this same color will move to the next circle or progress item. So first of all, let's go to the button styling and give it a color of the same that we are using for progress bar, or we can say for circle border color. The background color is going to be this one. The text color is going to be white. Border radius will be, so the border radius is going to be 6 pixel. Padding will be something like from top and bottom it will be 8 pixel, and from left and right it will be 30 pixel. I will also give it some margin for some spacing from all round of buttons. Give it a font size. So give it a font size of something like 15 pixel. I'm also don't want a outline. Also we don't want a border will be none, and we also want the cursor to be a pointer. So let's save it and check the styling of this button. Now you will see the styling has changed. If I will comment it out these lines of code, you will see the changes. And now you will see these buttons are not looking good. But if I will uncomment it and let's save it, and now you will see these buttons are looking good right now. So we also want to give it some styling when these buttons are active. So when these buttons are active, so for your information, the active state is when we will click on these buttons. So what I want to do is when the button is active, I want to give it a transform property. So the transform property is going to be the this one scale. I want to reduce it to 0.95. So when I will click, these buttons will change its styling. As you will see here, this button is not impacting because we have set it to be disabled. So for the disabled button, what I want to do is I want to target it, and we want the cursor to be not allowed, and the background color will also be the different one. So it will be is this one. Let's save it, and now you will see a difference. As you will see, we cannot click on it. So let's move to the next part. The next part is going to be the JavaScript part of this website or this project. So in the JavaScript part, what first of all what we'll do is we will select some of items with the some of elements with the document dot get element by id and query selector. So first of all I will select the progress document dot get element by id, and it has an id of progress. So first of all let's check if we have given it an id or not. Also give it an id of progress. Let's save it, and now we have selected this. So next select the buttons. So previous button, it will be document dot get element by id previous. Then we have a next button, and it will be something like this. So if you are wondering why I'm able to write the coding this code this fast, I'm using the VS Code extension tab 9. So this extension is using artificial intelligence, and it's used to predict the next code that you want to write. So I have also selected the next button, and now let's select the circles. So for circles I will want to select all of them. So for this I will use a query selector all, because this is not a single circle. Query selector all, and these circles have a class of circle dot circle. Let's save it. And now what I want to do is I want to add an event listener. So first of all let's create a variable current active. It will show which item is active right now or which circle is active. and on the next button we will add an event listener of click. Then the callback function will run when the user clicks on this button. So let's move inside the curly braces, and when the user will click on this button, I want to increment the current active, and I will also run an if statement, and if statement will check if the current active is less than, or if the current active is greater than circles dot length. Then what I want to do is I want to set the current active to circles dot length. So let's save it. Now what I want to do is I also want to add an event listener to the previous button. So it will be this one. It will add an event listener on click, and for this what I want to do is for previous button I want to decrement the current active, and I will also run an if statement for this. So the if statement is going to be, it will check if the current active is less than 1. So it will check if the current active is less than 1. What it will do is it will set the current active to 1. So let's save it. You will not see any of the changes right now here, but you will see it something later in the next few minutes. So what I will do is also want to create a function which will be which I will run when the user will click on any of the previous or the next button. So I will create a function, and let's create an update function. And in this function what we want to do is we want to run an for each loop on the circles. So let's target the circles, because the circle is an array. Circles dot for each, and it will call a callback function which will select the individual item of one circle, and we will also get its index. So I will write a parenthesis, so it will be a circle and also the index of it. And what we will do is we will run an if else statement for this. So what we'll check is if index is less than current active, then what we want to do is we want to give it a class. So let's add a class of active for this, and in the else statement what we want to do is we will select it. So first of all let's create an else if statement, not else if, just else statement. So in the else statement what we want to do is we want to remove this class active from it. So for circle dot class list dot remove we will remove this class. So let's see if now you will see some changes, but the problem is that we don't we have set the previous button to be disabled, so it's not working. But our logic of moving this circle or active class to the next circles have completed. So let's fix some of the issues. Now what I will do is under this if else statement or under this for loop is ending here. So under this I will check the active. So const actives, here I will use document dot query selector, or what it will do is it will select all of the items which has the class of active. So let's also, we have also selected a progress. I will give it some property of by progress dot style dot width. So let's give it a some width. So for width the formula is going to be active dot length minus 1. We will divide it by the circles dot length, wrap it in parentheses because we want to get the percent. So active dot length minus 1, and then the circles dot length minus 1, multiply it by 100, and also concatenate a percent sign because the result that we will get from this formula we want to use it as a styling. So let's save it, and now let's see if something has changed or not. Now what we want to do is, so as you see it's not working right now. This is because we have done some spelling mistake. This is actives, and for circles this is circles because we have an array of circles. Let's save it, and now you will see, let's refresh the page, and our code is not working right now. This is because the width is going to be this one, actives dot length minus 1 divided by circles dot length minus 1. This will get some percentage when we will multiply it by. So we have done some mistake, let's fix it. So as you will see we should set an equal sign here because we want to set this percentage to this width property. Let's save it, and now let's hope it will work. Now you will see it's working right now and it's looking amazing. So when we will move, click the button next, the active class will add, and we are selecting all of the actives. And for an active class what we want to do is we will use this formula for calculating the percentage, and we will give this percentage to this progress bar. So the next part what we want to do is we want to fix this default disabled button, and what we want to achieve is when we will hit next, the next button will disabled on the last item and the previous button will disabled on the first item. So what I will do is I will write an if statement, and the condition is going to be the if the current active is 1, then we want the previous button to be disabled. So the previous button will be disabled. Then what we'll do is we will write an else if statement. Here what I will do is I will check the length. If the current active, it will be equal to circles dot length, it means if it will be the last item, then I will set the next item next button to be disabled. So but in the else statement what we want to do, if none of these conditions will be true, I want to remove the disabled from both of these buttons if the progress is in the middle. So both of these will be false. Next dot disabled will be false. Let's save it, and now let's see. So now you will see the disabled class has been removed, or the disabled property has been removed when we, so it is the previous. Now go to our project, let's save it. Now you will see when I'm hitting next, the disabled property is removed from the previous button. But if we will go to the last, the disabled property has been added to the next button. So as you will see, we have built this and it's looking good. This logic or this progress steps is basically used in the multi-step forms and some of other parts of your websites. I hope you will like this video. So if you have learned something new, don't forget to hit the like button and also tell me in the comments what you have learned from this video and what kind of projects you want in the future. So have a nice day. This is the end of this project.